Hello. Hey, good afternoon, Space Nut. I'm sorry to hear you're not well today. I wish you a really fast recovery. I'm starting a minute or two early, and I'm not starting in the place I intended to. I'm going to start early and walk fast because we got a storm coming. I'm going to walk as far as I can until it starts to rain. Hope everyone's having a great day. I am on C Street in Southwest Washington, D.C., amid some kind of interesting federal buildings. Over here is the Cohen building, the back of the Cohen building. This is the home of the Voice of America, as well as some offices of the Department of Health and Human Services. And then the Switzer building is right here. We'll have to go see who's over there now. I'm not sure who's in the Switzer building today. We will walk super fast. Yeah, there's blue sky this way. Storms over there. So we'll have to be swift. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got these nice little seating areas here for all the federal employees to take a break during the busy workday. That's kind of nice. Good to see that. This one here is definitely one of those slightly more ornamented cookie cutter buildings. Oh, this is also the Department of Health and Human Services. So both the Switzer building and the Cohen building have some offices of Health and Human Services. And then the headquarters is over here. I think we call that the Hoover building. I think that's the Herbert Hoover building over there. We visited that one from the front. Some interesting artwork above the door there. But this is not where we intended to be today, which is why I'm walking really fast. I'm trying to get to some of the parks behind the Capitol. And the reason I started the stream a little early is I parked where I intended to end the stream, and I was going to walk down to those parks and memorials and then start the stream. But because this storm is heading here really fast, I started this stream early because we may have to end as soon as the rain comes. Beautiful blue sky over here. Not so beautiful blue back that way. Hey, Darius, I'm so glad you could join. Oops. Glad you could join today. We're taking a walk around Southwest, and then when we cross South Capitol Street, we will be in Southeast Washington, D.C. We're going to check out some of the parks and memorials around the Capitol building and try to dodge the rain at the same time. That kid should have a helmet on, I'm just saying. Whoops. Step out of the street here. Be super careful in this area. People drive like maniacs when they're trying to get out of the city. I hope everybody's having a great day. Well, I'm glad to meet you, Darius. Very glad to see you. And I love to know where everyone in the chat is from, so please feel free to pop your location in the chat. It is what is today? The second day of fall here in the United States, and it's not feeling like it. It's like 87 degrees here in our nation's capital. That's some interesting artwork there. That's quite pretty. On the little recycling bin here. We're walking east on C Street toward the Capitol building, not the back side, but the south side of the Capitol building. Hey, Robert. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Glad to hear this. Now, this is one of those relatively new federal buildings. This is the O'Neill House Office Building. I truly think this is the newest of all of the congressional buildings. And we'll have to do some study and find out what date this was built. We did a couple of walks. We did the House side, which we'll see in a second, is the Rayburn Building, Longworth, and Cannon. Then we did the Senate side with Hart and Durskin and one other one, can't remember, Ford. And now we have O'Neill. I'm gonna guess named after Tip O'Neill. This is new. This is, well, when I say new, I mean new since I worked here in this part of the city. So it's at least a few years that it's been here. One of the newer buildings, hey, Steel Lake. That's awesome, Robert. We'll get a better view here. Back on this building. This is a new find. I actually forgot all about this building back here. It's quite a nice find. Now, the wind is kicking up, so we could have rain any minute now. Clouds are coming in. The leaves are turning. When the leaves turn over, that's the indication it's about to rain. Still blue skies ahead of me, though. We'll keep walking in the direction of the blue skies. And here we get our first peek of the Capitol from over here. But our journey today is to check out a couple of parks and a memorial on the south side of the Capitol. Here's a really nice, these are everywhere, by the way. So here's a really nice directory of all those buildings. So you can see we are here next to the O'Neill. Oh, Ford is over there. Which was the other one? Okay, so it was just Russell and Durskin that we saw before. Okay, so we just passed O'Neill, and Ford was next to it, and the U.S. Capitol in front of us, and we're heading, okay, forgive my fingernails, they're really a mess right now. We're heading over here, so we're heading up here. Just for a quick little jaunt to visit the gardens behind the House side buildings. Oh, we almost saw a major accident. Phew, okay. People, when you make a right on red, you have to stop first before you make the right on red. That glass building you can see in front that looks like a conservatory, that's the United States Botanic Garden. We have visited there. There's the U.S. Capitol. And we're headed this way. Now, let's see. Is it better which street to walk? All right, we're gonna, well, all right. We'll find a safe place to cross. That's the first imperative here. Hope everybody's having a great day. And I did not use the bug spray. And here we go again with these mosquitoes. Washington, D.C. is just full of mosquitoes. It is. Take a look back at the O'Neill building. And then I think this is the Hoover building. I keep calling it the Hoover building. I might be wrong with that.
Oh, hey!
All right, I'm going to find the best place to cross over. Now, this is where some of the tunnels under the United States Capitol are tunnels. Whoa. Tunnels for cars and tunnels for trains. So crossing the street sometimes becomes interesting. especially when you don't look down and you trip on something. Is it going to be one of those days? All right, I'm going to walk over here and see if I can cross. If I can't cross this way, then we're going to go back and make a loop. Just under us are all the, oh, this sidewalk is a mess. It's all the tree roots, for sure. Nope, okay, I can't walk this way because that's also an on-ramp. So we're gonna have to go back, retrace our steps. And what we'll end up doing is going to one of the memorials that I had planned to visit at the end of our walk. We'll just do it at the beginning of our walk. And that's okay because that'll help us to not be deterred if it starts raining. This part of Washington, D.C. is largely the business of the government. There are not commercial businesses here. These are all government office buildings. But you can still find places to park. Not here. Not at this parking lot. But there is street parking available. I always recommend take your time and take a good look for street parking. Read the signs. On most of the major arteries, you cannot park between 4:30 and 6 p.m. And there are also restrictions in the morning. But in between, on the smaller streets, you can find street parking. These garages will just cost an arm and a leg. So look for the street parking. Save a few bucks here and there.
So it seems the khaki pants are not him, but we're working on that. We might get that.
This memorial is the memorial to the disabled American veterans. And I'm probably entering from the back, so let's go to the front and then make a better entrance. So it is the American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial. This is here just steps from the United States Capitol, just south of Independence Avenue in Washington, D.C., obviously. And now I'll give the view from, I think, what is the front entrance of the memorial. So this fountain is, hey, Holocron. Hi, Daryl, great to see you. So as you enter the memorial from Independence Avenue and 2nd Street, this is about 2nd Street, you come upon this fountain in the shape of a star. It's hard to see from here, and I am definitely not going to climb on the benches. But this fountain is in a shape of a star. And then on this wall, a quote from President Eisenhower, whose memorial is also just around the corner here, and we will visit that memorial on our walk today. Each of you bears upon his body the permanent, honorable scars of dangerous service. Service rendered in order that our great nation might continue to live according to the expressed will of its own citizens. And then at the point of each star, are the seals of the different branches of service. This is Washington, D.C. This is the memorial to American veterans disabled for life. And then the quote from George Washington: "Before I conclude the subject of public justice, I cannot omit mention the obligations this country is under to that meritorious class of veteran, non-commissioned officers and privates who have been discharged for inability. Nothing could be more melancholy and distressing sight than to behold those who have shed their blood or lost their limbs in the service of their country." It's a really good site here. And again, just steps from the National Mall, steps from the Capitol building. Really beautiful memorial. On the far wall here, these glass panels with quotes from veterans, those disabled in the service of our country. Very peaceful spot. Maybe we'll miss the rain today, or maybe the rain will miss us, I should say. And this guy's looking at his phone and not looking at me. Dude. If I get run over, you all will know where to find me, right? Well, I planned to start my walk over here, but I started it early because of the impending potential rain. So I walked really fast to get over to this side and started streaming before I got there. Now, let's get to those parks. Really busy spot for traffic, this is, for sure. This is the back of the Rayburn House office building. I'm gonna guess it's the largest. Just looks that way on the map. I'm gonna go ahead and cross here when it is safe so to do. Okay, I've got the light. Oh, I feel a raindrop. All right, one won't deter me. If it starts pouring, however, or if I lose the signal, of course, or if it gets too windy, if the audio gets really annoying, let me know. And I headed over to the park. This is kind of a quiet area behind. These are the back entrances to the Congressional office buildings. So it's a little quiet. Yep, and here's the back door to the Rayburn House office building. Now, check out my video from the front of this building. It is pretty magnificent. Lots of beautiful architectural features in the front of this building. And then the next one is the Longworth. And that was easy to remember because it's narrow and long, the Longworth building. And then the first one is the oldest one, which is the Cannon House office building. We're on the south side of the Capitol, where the House of Representatives is. On the north side of the Capitol are the Senate office buildings. Hart and Russell and Durskin. Hey, Ben! Ben, I'm really glad to see you. I hope you're having a very nice Tuesday. I'm streaming a little bit out of order because just waiting for the rain to come. It's going to pour. Black-eyed Susans again. We see them everywhere. State flower of Maryland. Right next door to Washington, D.C. Actually, technically, Washington, D.C. is Maryland. It was formed out of Maryland. The land ceded to become our nation's capital. And here's our original first objective for the day. This is I think it's called the Spirit of Justice Park. When we visited the Senate side and did a little walk around there, we saw the parks on the Senate side of the Capitol. And these are the parks on the House side. And although today is the first day of fall, it doesn't feel that way. Today is a very warm day. Uh-oh, I'm losing the signal. Okay, I'm going to back up. Backing up, losing the signal fast. We'll stay right here. Come back to where the signal is. That was a super fast drop in signal. So I won't get too much closer to the fountain. Evaporated the signal over there. Quite pretty. Very peaceful. No one's sitting on the benches. Everyone's heading home. I need a boat? Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with a boat. I'm good with that. I live near the water. All right, let me see if I can pick some signal back up here. Oh, there's some blue sky. Wow, the blue sky came back. How pretty is that? That's a really nice view. Yeah, we're getting some blue sky. Okay, maybe the clouds will just go away. Now, my original plan was to start here and then walk to the Veterans Memorial that we just walked to. Next, we are going to the President Eisenhower Memorial. Which is another relatively new memorial here in Southwest Washington, D.C.